Welcome back to the Tapes Archive podcast, where we release interviews that have never been heard before. In this episode, we have the original problem child, AC/DC's Angus Young. At the time of this interview in 1996, Young was 40 years old and was promoting AC/DC's album Ballbreaker and their upcoming tour. In the interview, Young talks about how his schoolboy outfit came to be, the reason AC/DC took a 5-year hiatus, Beavis and Butthead, and the key to all of AC/DC's success. As always, we have music critic Mark Allen at the helm conducting the interview. Thanks for tuning in, and now it's time to open the vault.
Mark Allen, please.
This is Mark.
Mark, it's Ella Young here. I've got Angus for you on the phone.
Thank you. Okay.
Hello?
Angus?
Hey, Mark.
How are you?
Good, good.
Good. Were you somewhere on the West Coast today?
In San Francisco.
San Francisco. Good. Well, I hope you have better weather than you have when you get here.
I've heard it's cold.
It's a little below zero and very cold.
We had some of that cold weather when we kicked off. Around the Carolinas, it was snowing. So we know what you're going through.
Okay, and so is it by accident that you picked the worst time of the year to tour? I guess you always tour in the winter, right?
Well, we had actually started south, and which was, but I mean, I don't think anyone expected the winter to be that harsh.
Yeah. It's true. I guess it was late 1990 the last time we saw you here, and the landscape has changed. The musical landscape has obviously changed just tremendously since you've been around last.
And the weather.
No, the weather's always ugly. Did you have any concern in coming back after 5 years plus that maybe people wouldn't be there for you?
No, we've never been a band that, we've always been a band that, we go out, we make a record, and we've been lucky that we've had, over the last few years, you get the choice in your life to be able to do what you want to do. So we were never a band that really worried so much about, the musical environment around you.
Mm-hmm. Are you surprised by the other things that are going on? I mean, how many bands have just dropped off the map?
Well, I think it goes through a lot of cycles, I think, because if you actually look, you see a lot of, it probably, the new cycles always sort of resurrect some of the old cycles who were the godfathers of this, what they call the new music. There's always been I know when we came here in the 70s, there was not a lot of rock music out there. I mean, as far as, like, say, radio was playing very much, a lot of dance music and a lot of pop, top 40. So even then, I mean, it was the same thing. Then it changes. Usually what seems to happen is usually when everyone changes to one form of music, it's about time to change it to another one,
Mm-hmm. And yet you've been so remarkably consistent over the years. And I'm wondering, do you think consistency is the key to your success?
Yeah, well, I think we stand our ground. We were always a band that we know what we do best, which is rock and roll music. And that's where we drew our line, even in the beginning. Because even in the beginning, there was always you get a lot of pressure. People were saying, well, people are listening to this now. You should be recording that type of music. Or, one year it's punk music, next year it's, metal music, next year it's pop music. We were always a band that said, well, this is what we do.
Should people learn from this that if you stand your ground and take care of your vision, things will work out? Or is it just that you guys were able to do it?
It's like this. You've still got Bob Dylan still performs. He's still performing the same as what he did as a young man. He's still writing songs and still performing them. And, you can't be what you're not.
Now, when you first started and first came over to the States, you were basically considered a metal band, weren't you?
Well, we've had a number of different tags. We've been, in our early years when we went to England, they were called as a punk band. The only tag that we ever subscribed to really was, we would say we're a rock and roll band. And I always find that more the image makers of the world want to tag a music. I first encountered it in England, when in those punk times, when they were tagging everyone with a name, and I think it just gave them another word to write in the bio, File them under this.
Right.
And then weird part was they were actually giving birth then to some sort of mass production, you know?
People obviously have this impression that you've been away for 5 years, and I realize you've been doing other things. You have the live album and the song on Last Action.
I've been home 2 weeks and 5 years. Amount of time that I got for myself.
So it wasn't a 5-year vacation, huh? You weren't just sitting up there counting the money and waiting for the next tour, huh?
No.
Yeah,
it costs you money to live for 5 years.
Well, but you must find that people are like, you know, they obviously, most people think you just took a vacation, right?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people do. Yeah. Well, I've been on the road, and you've just had a record out, and somebody says, "When's the next record?" Well, I've got it in my back pocket.
Yeah. Do you think you'll wait 5 years for the next one?
No, I think we'd be a lot quicker.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because the main reason we had the break, you know, it's probably the first time we had the time to really take a break. And we had been on the road since we started virtually. From that, you know, up till that point, we had been touring all the time. It was a constant cycle of touring, recording. So there was never a lot of time to sit back and even look at where you were going, what you were doing. Yeah.
So you took a little...
Guys went home to say hello to their teenage children. We're now working.
So you did have at least a little time for reflection in that 5 years. A little time, sure. Okay. Did you do anything fun? Do you have anything that you do outside rock and roll?
Oh, well, I mean, I've got my own hobbies. I do a little dabbling with, painting. Yeah. That's always a big hobby of my own, that, a bit of sketching.
Will we ever see an art show of yours?
Well, I wouldn't force it on the public. I mean, I do it. It doesn't mean to say I do it well, you know?
Oh, okay.
But I've done it since I was a child, you know?
Yeah, well, there's no shortage of musicians, you know, who have that as a hobby and are bringing it out on tour. I mean, John Entwistle's got a tour running around the country now, and, you know, Jerry Garcia had that for years, and, boy, you know, we see all kinds of stuff like that. So, but we're not going to see the Angus tour of, our Angus Art Tour of America. Okay. In recording the new album, and I got to tell you, I think this is just a great piece of work. I really enjoyed this. Even I think more so than anything else you've done, and I can't tell if it's the sound of it, or maybe I'm just ready for this after a long break. But at any rate, I read where you said that this has kind of a dry sound, and or that's what you were trying to achieve, and I'm wondering what you mean by that.
When we went to record it, we came up with the idea. We were trying to get free of the modern technology. And when we first started recording, it was a lot more basic in that. You didn't have the computer world. And there's a tendency these days, as they go, well, instead of spreading a few microphones around and taking the time to put them in the right position, they'll just pull out the latest gadget, flick it on, and plug it in. And so a lot of it was finding, even a very hard thing to find, believe it or not, was finding recording studios that still had kept their basic room, and a lot of them had gone over, especially, say, through Europe. They had all gone on to, just catering to, like, dance music. So they had sort of followed that trend, and, that sort of, a lot of them went out of business, actually. So because of it, because there's only so many studios that could cater to that sort of thing. We actually came to Los Angeles. We could find a place that still had the old world sound and hadn't fiddled with all the technology. They still had the old analog technology.
So there went 4 of your 5 years right there, just looking for a studio, right?
Looking for the right place for a studio, yeah. And then finding a good acoustic room to do with it.
The last tour, I was thinking that of all the songs on the Razor's Edge album, Fire Your Guns and Rock Your Heart Out would become concert staples. Are they in the set this year?
We actually started rehearsing. We just rehearsed as many songs as we could. And then what we've been doing a lot is you get feedback, from fans that have been following you around over the years. They always come with their lists and tell us what to play. So we've got a good sort of approach to it, I think. We'll do some different songs each night and chop and change the set around that way.
When you're performing these days, is it all instinct, or do you think about what you're doing? Can you just go out there and wing it?
I concentrate on just what I'm doing on the guitar, and everything else then becomes a bonus.
Okay. And what do you do to get physically ready for this? Because, man, you work hard.
Physically?
Yeah.
Gee, I don't know, really. I probably smoke more cigarettes more than anything.
Yeah, people, I've been reading all these stories about people who've been interviewing you in person, and they say how you smoke so much, and I'm thinking, man, can't think of too many people who work harder on stage at night than you do. How do you do that?
It's got me baffled, too. My brother says it's nicotine withdrawal.
You're 41, is that right?
Well, I'm 40 now.
You're 40 there, okay. Yeah, so so you've been doing this, for your whole life, basically. It's amazing.
It has, yeah.
Pretty.
I've had it a long time now.
A couple other things, I'll let you go. Tell me, how did the schoolboy outfit come up?
What, from the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was my sister who came up with the idea, and it come from when I would come home from school, and I would run in the door before my mother grabbed me and said, right, you've got to go on errands. But I would grab the guitar and run off to where my friends were, yeah? So she used to think it's so funny. I was running around with the guitar, a big guitar under my arm, and my little school uniform on. When Malcolm, my brother, when he put the band together and he got me, she said, it'd be really good if you got your school uniform on and played, give people something to look at.
So this is an actual uniform, that kind of thing that you used to wear to school, huh?
It is. And
wow.
That was my way of getting my own back on the school that I went to,
Yeah.
They used to have their actual logo on my jacket,
Uh-huh.
I took it off now. I thought they've had punishment enough,
Yeah.
I would say that this is a product of state education.
Yeah. So everybody wore that uniform to school, right?
Well, the school that I was going to.
Yes, the school that you were going to, right? So what do you think of that idea comes up periodically in American politics about wearing uniforms to school. What do you think of that?
Well, I got to be honest. I would say I always thought America got it pretty right. I thought the whole idea. I remember when I went to school, it was a case of they were saying, well, it would keep everyone the same. And I always thought, well, who wants to be the same?
Yeah.
And it was a case of, it's almost communism,
Yeah. Obviously, even though it's been a while since we've seen you, we're reminded of you every night on Beavis and Butthead. And I'm wondering, what do you think of Butthead wearing your T-shirt all the time?
Well, I suppose it's as long as it's good, in good humor and good taste.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead is in real good taste, yeah.
When I first saw it, I laughed. I think it was some of the MTV TV people played it for me. What did you think? And I laughed. I thought it was cute.
And are you glad that the smarter of the two is wearing the AC/DC and the dumber guy's wearing the Metallica shirt?
Damn glad.
Yeah.
We got the one with the C grades, I think,
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think the other one quite gets a grade, does he?
No. You guys will be eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in, I think, 3 years, right? 1999, right? That'd be 25 years for you. Are you going to get in? Do you care about it?
It's a little bit, for me, it's a little bit celebrity golf,
So if you get in, do you care? I mean, do you want to be in there?
We've never been a band to sort of sit around and say, give us a prize,
Right.
Like when they have their sort of award things, It's all a little bit backslapping, I was very saddened. I remember a couple of years back, I was in Los Angeles. I think they were having some award thing, and they had Little Richard, and it was a Grammy thing. And I mean, I grew up on a lot of that music, so I love all that the blues and, from Jerry Lee Lewis, Presley, and I love all that rock and roll done at that period. And I was really, they wouldn't even give the guy an award backstage. I mean, it was still like saying, you're a great band, but come in the back door with you.
Right.
We don't want you seen with the other people. Yeah.
And finally, can we expect a rock opera or a tour with a symphony from AC/DC?
A rock opera and a tour symphony.
Yeah, can you do that?
Well, I mean, that would mean we'd need to pay all the extras, keep it this way. You get the 5 guys.
That's right.
Get a better paycheck.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people here are looking forward to seeing you. Anything else you want to cover that we haven't talked about?
I think you've covered it, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, well, this was fun. I can't wait to see you. I feel like I need a little dose of AC/DC now. Things are a little too serious. I need a little soul cleansing now. So
rebirthing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to it, and good luck with everything, and see you in about a month, I guess.
Okay then, Mark.
Take care.
You take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Tapes Archive podcast. Please remember you can always find more information about the show and the individual episodes at our website, thetapesarchive.com. Until next time, the vault is closed.